Right. She reads vibes, not receipts. She's a human behavior baddie with a playlist for every mood. Say hello to your new emotional support. Not Scorpio.
But you can call me Scorpio.
But okay.
That's my pseudo.
Scorpio, the pseudo name.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my pseudo sign.
Yes. Well, so today on the pod, I'm joined by someone who's been a part of the group chat, the chaos and the quiet observations. She is stylish, dreamy, mysterious, and she sees things. Literally, say hi to Lola T.
Hi.
Hello. So you're like an aesthetic anthropologist, a soft scientist, an icon who notices everything and maybe says nothing until it's time, right? You're observing, you're living there for the world. So I guess, I know we've talked even earlier today about you in general. So I guess I'd really do more of an aura check. What's the vibe that you're moving through life with right now? Like if your mood was a weather pattern or a filter, what would it be?
Kind of like LA weather, like unpredictable. Like sometimes it's sunny and sometimes it's gray and cloudy, but we're not mad at any of it. We actually really like every single kind of.
We learn to embrace them all. Learn to understand that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
We love a good rain. We love a good sunshine.
Yes. Well, thank you. I feel that. Now for people who don't know you, if your aura walked into a room for you, what would it smell like?
If my aura walked into...
I know we talk a lot about scents and fragrance.
What would it smell like?
Yeah.
Ooh.
What's the vibe of your aura?
Girl, it just depends on the day, but I think my general would be like a nice white musk with like a hint of jasmine or tuberose and like some spice. Like a little clove and then some sandalwood.
I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got this energy. You are kind of like mysterious, kind of like you can be soft, but there's strength to it too, right? Uh-huh.
Pardon me for yawning.
No, you're good. You're good. If you're open to it,
yeah.
Would you be open to sharing a little bit more with your Stargirl energy? Like, I know we talked earlier about your big three, but with your chart, what do you feel most deeply connects? I know you mentioned like there's some things where you're not sure like what it could mean and what it doesn't, but like what do you feel like you're most deeply connected to? And also, if Daddy's favorite had a birth chart, what sign would she be?
Well, okay, to answer the question about me, I would say Scorpio for sure. It really resonates with me. Dark, mysterious, observant, not afraid of the darkness. I oftentimes feel like I'm quick to assume others want to face their darkness, but they don't. And I've learned not to be so forefront with what I see in them until they get to their own lesson. Like,
that's like a whole level of understanding too that I feel like takes just like living through life.
Yeah, some people just don't want to hear it, you know, until they're ready to hear it, until they're asking you to hear it.
Until they need to.
Until they need to, yeah. Or even if they need to, they're still oblivious to it sometimes, you know. So yeah, I've learned to just be patient.
How about?
And then yeah, Daddy's favorite, totally a Leo. Like she's out, she is ready, and she's just here to perform, and she wants to be worn and she wants to be seen.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go into a quick little segment about some dream logic and emotional intel.
Huh?
So I know that sometimes, I know for myself, a lot of times things that I've wanted to do or that I've made happen started first with a dream, like a literal dream, like while in bed, like asleep. So for you, what's the last dream you had that made you sit up, like wait, like what? Like that you remember that had an impact on your daily life?
I was like, let me check my dream journal. Oh, you know, most recent. most impactful recently, I would say I was in this building. Okay, so okay. The summary of it was that I was at this like hotel and I'm like going up to the restaurant, which is on the rooftop. And as I'm going up the stairs, I don't even know if there were stairs, but they were just like, when there's like the handicap, like ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. There's two old ladies behind me, and one was like grumpy, and like the other one was like hunchback, but really sleek. And we get to the top, and of course I'm holding the door for the old ladies because I want them to go before me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize the hunchback could see. I thought she couldn't see, and she's like, "How?" Like the grumpy one was like, "Thank you." Like she was shocked. I think she thought that I was gonna be some like young like whatever, And then the older like the hunchback one was like, "Oh, thank you so much. Like you're so beautiful." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you could see, but thanks." But then as we get to this restaurant, which is a beautiful like atrium like glass windows everywhere, the hotel in general was just like glass everywhere. There was this bride. And the old ladies wanted to take pictures of the bride, but the best friend was a bitch. And the best friend was like, "No, you can't take pictures." And the bride was like, "Well, yeah, of course." And then, but all of a sudden the best friend starts running. Like everybody starts running. I don't know what happened to the old people. But then I turn and look behind me and there's this like, I don't know if there were comets, but like things from the sky dropping in. And so like I start running and it kind of fast forwards to me, like all of a sudden I'm in my bedroom of the hotel and I see somebody approaching and then I open the door into this like long tunnel to like other people evacuating. And then this like Arab guy, he thinks he knows me and he's like, hum, da, 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 da. And I'm just like, what? Like, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know you, bro. And then, I mean, I wasn't saying this in Nigeria, but and then he just like drops this like beautiful mozzarella sandwich that was like, I'm like about to close the door and I'm like, I don't want this sandwich. Like, this is so weird. But then I'm like, maybe I might need this if I need to evacuate. Like, let me not assume that I don't need to evacuate, that everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I take the sandwich and I see people like, because it's all glass, right? I see people on other floors evacuating, but then I see some of them like jumping ship, basically, like just jumping on the cliff. And then I go into the abyss and then I see more sandwiches.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, the sandwiches were great. They looked very scrumptious. I felt like I collected a few more sandwiches, but then all of a sudden I feel like I can hear that my part of the building is going to like break off of the rest of it. And so I'm like, slowly, this is all happening in slow motion, but I can feel, when the plane goes down and you kind of feel it in your stomach. I felt it a little bit, not as much as that, but like I could feel slowly that my part of the wing was like going down and I was like, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be great. I was like not praying per se, but I was very much like trustful that I would be fine.
Yeah.
But then it skips to me being on the train. Like all of a sudden this like hotel becomes a train. And like, I'm like, no one else is on this train. And like, I kind of knew that there were like the brakes weren't working on this train. And we were like going by like any gate that was like supposed to be there and the train's supposed to stop and we broke through them. And I just was also like praying or manifesting, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, to say the least, that was the last impactful. But the feelings throughout, and so I make sure when I wake up and I journal about it, I make sure to remember the feelings, but sometimes the imagery can be lost, right?
Yeah. Do you feel like these dreams are messages or just chaos?
Oh.
Sometimes like, how do you? I know that's a lot to unpack, but like in general, then like how do you? What do you take from that? Like, what's your process?
So I go to ChatGPT every morning when I have these dreams, and so I've prompted her to give me like global cultural like symbolisms and like also now I've just newly integrated like Freud and Carl Jung's perspective of dreams. Although I'm clearly more interested in the global aspect of like what these symbols could mean. Yeah, they definitely have an impact. Like what I've noticed in the trend of all of these is like they're very symbolic of like either what's going on or maybe like subconscious feelings or like things I need to see or understand or hear. I truly believe that there's like more to dreaming that like we actually know of. And like people unfortunately don't give it at the time of day sometimes.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I feel like you just like brought my mind to so many places. Like I'm imagining like also like isn't there like a therapy? It's like LNDR, the type of thing when there's like the red light going across, where you get kind of hypnotized
Oh yeah, yeah,
and I can unlock things within you. Like I'm like now thinking about that and like
yeah.
what how dreams play into that and like a response of your psyche in the day. Like I don't know. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I know that was kind of heavy. A lot. But we're coming up towards like the end of our first. This is just the first of many for this introduction to
Yeah.
Lola here.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for sharing so much about like the beginning part of like your dream logic, your sorghum energy, what your aura would smell like.
That was probably my favorite question.
But I would love to know kind of like before we wrap up for today.
Yeah. So what?
Just you know, what is something that you're obsessed with that no one else gets yet? You know?
Obsessed with it, no one else gets
Yet.
yet.
Mm-hmm.
Being kind to one another and being well mannered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Empathetic. Empathy.
Empathy.
Yeah. I'm like so obsessed with just like helping another person out. Of course, the boundaries. They'll try to be unhealthy.
That's very.
But
That's why
I love, like, you know, like I think we have become a little bit too individualistic. And I think that like community is where it's at.
community from Lola T. Oh, I love that. Speaking on Daddy's favorite podcast, we always do this at the very end.
Okay.
What is Daddy's favorite right now? It could be a product that's currently out or something that's in development. What do you have in the kitchen? What's cooking?
Ooh, Daddy's favorite is this recipe.
Your favorite
Oh, my favorite.
or your daddy? What's Daddy's favorite?
My daddy. I don't have a daddy.
No, you are Daddy.
Oh, I'm daddy. Duh. What's my favorite? These dumplings that I made last night. I made those. I made them from scratch. It's a zucchini, jalapeno, and scallion dumpling, and I made them myself. I always love making dumplings. It's always fun to do it when you have like stuff and you don't know what to do with it.
Yes.
Like put it in this, is like you make a stuffing out of it.
That's true. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we may have to have many more combos. Maybe we'll do one of these over a meal prep session or something.
Period. Yeah, I love to.
But in the meantime, Lola T, a mystery, a mood, a mirror. Thank you for letting us into your emotional matrix for a few minutes. We'll have you back when Mercury's in a better mood.
Yeah.
But thank you for now. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. One of our co-founders, Lola. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
And keep being Daddy's favorite.
Yes, we love daddy.